What's going on, guys? As promised, the 20-something minute live Q&A here. These are going pretty well, having fun with this. So I'll wait for you guys to drop the questions and comments. So let's see what you guys come up with. 12 noon, I promise I'll get one of these done one evening. That way I could help everybody who's maybe at work, although most of you could take part in this through your smartphone. Technology is, it's crazy what it's becoming. Today, here's a crazy thought I had. And crazy makes you creative. As I was saying to myself, man, through these years, all the kids that I've been seeing from being a phys ed teacher in the late 90s for 11 years, even when I was doing the student teaching and my internships, compared to a year later, every other year after that, was this decline in fitness, in confidence of these kids and their ability to look you in the eye. So I said, damn, what if there is a smart refrigerator? I'm telling you, that day is coming where the kid stands in front of it. Kid stands in front of that refrigerator, mom and dad see it, and they say, Johnny, you know, you need to drink water and you got to have a banana and some almond butter. And then the other thing it might say is, make sure you get in your 30 burpees. Joe DeSena would love that. All right, guys, drop your questions. Training, business related. Looking forward to seeing what questions you guys have. Everything went good yesterday, minus somebody who flipped out. He flipped out because he thought I was live, and he was calling me a blind idiot and all kinds of other great words. Ron, thanks. Saza, thanks for being here. Richard, Big Jim. We have some serious people here joining in on the conversation. Ron and Jim, you guys would love to train together. You guys are savages. Okay, let's see the questions. What do we got, guys? Jim, good to see you. As always, you inspire me. David Holmes asking about weightlifting belts. Absolutely. I'm going to tell you, when I was in my younger years, I would wear one of those thin, 4-inch weight belts that you could pick up from a local sporting goods store. Then I got into this phase after my ACL surgery of I want to do everything on my own. No weight belt, no straps. I was kind of looked at support gear like it was the enemy. But Mark Bell told me years ago, he goes, it's not really that smart. If you're going to max out on a deadlift or squat, you should wear some support gear. Louie Simmons says if it's not an advantage, it's a disadvantage. At the least, you should wear briefs, compression briefs, add some safety to the training in the gym. I think he's right. Ron says, any suggestions on training a large group of football players in a small gym, 30 athletes? Yep. Pick one main lift, such as a Zercher squat, a trap bar deadlift. Do low reps on that, anywhere in like the 2 to 5 rep range. And then after the main lift, they've got to do 2 bodyweight exercises. So let's say they deadlift, they're going to do 5 squat jumps, 5 clapping push-ups, 5 sets. So they go through that rotation. If it's a bench press, after they bench, they're going to do pull-up, recline row, and then squat jump or lunge jump. So a lot of main lift that you're going to coach, and then the others that are quick. High reps to failure or low reps for losing fat. Losing fat is more about the nutrition protocols, carbohydrate manipulation, and of course I think you need to do both. You need to lift heavy and low reps, lighter and high reps, because they're both great for adding muscle, building strength, and bumping up that metabolism. Saza asks, how important is a structured workout, or should you just go by feel? Sometimes I want to do stones, pull-ups, sprints. For the beginner, the intermediate, or the person with a specific goal in mind, such as numbers on the deadlift, powerlifting, I think you have to be much more structured. Somebody training for a specific competitive event, we have to be much more structured. But we still must keep the auto-regulation and the art of coaching intact. So if you're not feeling it, There's a time to listen to your body. There's a time to overreach. It depends on the person, the place, and the situation, and the type of athlete. Steven wants to know, do you sell a result-based program as part of your offer? How do you build in client retention? Yeah, I always say I guarantee results. But now I also preface that with, look, you could show up and train here at the Underground Strength Gym, but if you don't follow through on the lifestyle and the nutrition protocols, our training, we can't help you until you help yourself. AJ Roberts and Jimmy Smith in the house. I think I did an old video with these guys where AJ's wrist was the size of Jimmy Smith's neck. It was called Neck TV, I believe. AJ and Jimmy, some of the smartest guys out there. So, Steven, how do we build in client retention? My gym members have a members-only newsletter. I email at least 3 days a week, oftentimes every day. There's lots of checking in. There's lots of checking in, not just through email, but all of my coaches. At the end of every night, my coaches have to check in with me through an email, tell me how things went at the gym, what didn't go well. They might say, Steven's not following through. He's having a hard time on body weight. He told me he didn't eat for 5 hours before training, hasn't drank water all day, etc., etc. That gives me the green light to say, got to reach out to mom and dad, got to follow through on them. So it's a constant check-in, it's a constant follow-up. And then, because I train athletes, when they, AJ Roberts talking about the dip contest, oh my God. I watched that video and I say, that's when all my joints were healthy. And AJ Roberts was squatting over 1,000 pounds. And then also with training athletes, Steven, when the season comes, I offer an in-season program. Athletes are not the most consistent because we're dealing with a lot of backlash from their own coaches at the high school. We're dealing with their parents getting seduced by the latest fad or gimmick or the gym that's $50 cheaper and closer to home. But what always allows the Underground Strength Gym to win out is our results and our commitment to excellence. I don't see too many coaches out there doing it, that relentless pursuit of excellence. Charles says, what's better for grappling, strength weights or body weight? Charles, I don't want to say one or the other. I'd have to see you move and compete, but I think you need both. You definitely need both, but most of all, you need a high skill in grappling because skill is strength and strength is skill. Food for thought. Jim says, start a mastermind group. Thanks for your advice. We're going to develop a coalition of trainers here in a small town. Excellent. Competing against corporate gyms. Any advice on how to get other trainers to buy in? You know, I don't look at competing with corporate gyms anymore. I look at how can I get the Underground Strength Gym inside the corporate gym? How can I help them? How can I help everybody else? What I don't want to be part of is mediocrity. So I take that upon myself to find ways to educate others. So maybe instead of competing against corporate, you invite the corporate and make everybody better. Because to me, that's the true abundance mentality, is making everybody better. I remember when I opened my second location, somebody came up to me and said, hey, who are you going to be training? I said, yeah, I'm going to be training athletes. They said, good, good, good. You stick to athletes, we stick to training adults. Like, God forbid, we're going to run out of people to train. People are going to train where they want to train. That's really the bottom line. You could sell and market as much as you want, but eventually people find what's in their heart, where they feel best connected to. Alex Macklin just joined from Barbell Shrugged, and I could guarantee you, I'm willing to bet $100 he's watching without his shirt on. Vincent says, I want to get some group training sessions going with local high school athletes. Talk about putting the word out, best strategies to attract new athletes. Vincent, I'm going to give you a little homework. I want you to listen to my podcast with Barbell Shrugged, with Rise to the Top, with Brute Strength. I talk about this a lot, about how I started and what I continue to do today. I'll also say this. High schools may not be the best because the coaches are trying to control everything and the kids think they know everything. You got to find people that want it. So I've been connecting more with the middle school athletes, more so than the high school kids. There's only far and few between high school coaches that really support what we're doing as independent strength coaches. It's pretty amazing. And I'm even talking about coaches who have a losing record in the 85 to 95% losing, which means they win maybe 1 out of every 10 to 15 competitive events. When you suck that bad and you don't want any help, I can't help you. So as Gary Vaynerchuk says, I don't want to sell. I want them to come to me. So you need to connect with the right people. And I still think Facebook gets people away from that. How many articles have you written for local newspapers, local websites? How many public speaking events have you done? I still do that stuff. Oh, Francisco is missing a PT session. Francisco, if you drop a question, I'll answer it. Alex, great to see you. Ron says, Vincent, hit up the local sport clubs. Very true. The independent sport clubs are more open-minded. See if I get some thumbs up here. Ted Rasmussen, you're doing great, my man. Favorite jump exercises for explosive strength. First of all, I'm recommending the book Explosive Jumping and Power for All Sports. Louie Simmons recommends that. I love just squat jumps, frog jumps, hopping on one foot, jumping rope, double unders, box jumps, weighted squat jumps with dumbbells, light barbell, Bulgarian bags. Love that stuff. Jim, great seeing you. Thanks for stopping in. Yes, Ron. Ron, you can offer to help a team that has not won a game in 3 years, and they will turn you down. That's what I'm saying, guys. We will not be able to help these high school kids until these high school coaches drop the barrier and say, yes, I need help. You're the expert. Come and help me. Until that happens, we must connect with their parents, not the coaches. Vincent, thanks for listening to the Strong Life podcast. Oh, did I miss any questions here? I'm trying to see. Charlie's here. Mike Barbecue is here. Craziest dude in your gym was not you, Mike DLT, because you would still be there. Although I do show kids your wrestling match on the front lawn. David, thanks for the inspiration over the last 3 to 4 years. Started in my parents' shed. Now you've got a successful PT company. Business question, did you hire any trainers to your company from the start or with time? I started with an intern immediately from the get-go. I remember the first week I opened the Underground Strength Gym, I had an intern. So it's important to always have somebody that you're sharing and passing on knowledge who could hopefully become part of the team. They're not always going to fit in, but that's something that you got to test drive and experiment. Marco says, what's your opinion on direct ab training, weighted crunches, planks, twists for improved performance? Absolutely. The stomach and the quote-unquote core has to be strong. So we do ab work during the warm-up. We do it throughout the workout. We do it at the end of the workout. A lot of ab work. Ab wheel rollouts, all types of leg raises, all types of planks from various positions. Sit-ups with weight, twisting, pull-off presses. And also I tell the athletes your abs are always turned on. They're always working. When you're doing rack walks, overhead carries, sleds, squatting, your stomach and trunk is always in that stability, bracing position. So that's important to teach from the get-go. All right, guys. I need to bring water with me. What other questions do we have? I'm going to go for probably till like 12:20. Another 5, 6, 7 minutes. A lot of you guys that are coaches, David, what's up? I'll be starting the Relentless Pursuit of Excellence coaching group. It's a strength coach brotherhood. We're going to do it for 3 months. So make sure if you're watching, you want to be part of that, you send me a private message. What I'll be doing is 3 months. It's going to go September, October, November. And sometime in November, we will do a 2-day experience here in New Jersey, which is included in your investment. So it's going to be part training and part adventure. I will leave the adventure as that. Carlos Ortiz, what's happening? Thanks for stopping by. I know Carlos, Underground Strength Coach, representing. It's good to see a lot. I'd like to connect with a lot of you guys. Cool. What's happening, my man? Thanks for stopping in. What questions do you have, Carlos? Training or business? Raymond Bootcamp, good to see you. Have you used Groupon Living Social? Great question, Raymond. I have not, and I never will. Here and there, I do a team discount, and I usually look for a minimum of 8 or 10. But what I've learned is that every time you discount your services, people treat you like a discount. You do that Groupon, you will attract the wrong type of person. You're attracting a person who's looking for cheaper, not better. You're looking for a person that's driving an expensive car, but looking for a cheaper alternative to their health. So I am not a believer in discounts. The Underground Strength Gym is a premium priced service. And even with the premium prices, there are still many parents who do not follow through on the things that they need to do to support their child. Do you think teachers are a good demo to target? It depends what you're doing with them. So if you're selling a bunch of lesson plans, maybe not. Coach Jim is in the house. Guys, Jim has been on the Strong Life podcast, strength and conditioning, head strength and conditioning, performance coach at Kennesaw State. So Carlos, I think teachers are great, but I think government and just all the crazy administration and all the politics, they hurt the teachers and they crush their creativity. If you can find a way to get in front of forward-thinking teachers, God bless you, brother. And I think one thing you should do, Carlos, is speak at your state education association and start presenting. And that's where you'll start. You'll see if there's a demographic for people who want your stuff. David asks, in your opinion, working for yourself, how many gym floor hours should you be targeting to hit each week? Not counting all the working on the blog. David, that's a great question. I want people to, if you're going to be a coach and that's what you love to do, then put your heart and energy into being on the floor, and somebody else hire somebody who their unique ability is the web development, taking videos, helping you write blogs and stuff like that. Because if your passion is not the coaching, then what happens is you're not the best person to be providing the service. I love the coaching. I put in usually 2 to 3 hours each day. One of my locations, I do a 4-hour day. So you've got to go by what you feel, and that will evolve and change, I promise you. Daryl Dansby, who coached the great one? Matt Wachlinski's in the house. Chris Hassel. Wow, dude. Chris came, I still remember this, to the first seminar I ever put on, which was a kettlebell seminar. The first month I opened the Edison Underground Strength Gym over 9 years ago, and it was $99, and we destroyed shit. So Chris, I want you to go on my YouTube channel, Strength Power Circuit, and I want you to look up the Kettlebell Combat Complex. I took you through that complex 9 years ago, and I used a 70-pound kettlebell. Today, not capable. Ron says he's working with a local school. A lot of athletes coming from lower income. Any advice on how to offer services out of my garage? Outside of the school, knowing their families don't make the money. Unlike when I'm with the team and have tons of kids, there's a couple of kids who I think could turn into savages. Ron, sometimes you got to go for it and say, I'll do that shit for free. Oh, and JJ Stone, what happened to Vidler? Oh, man, we are OGs. Guys, luckily, I used the service some 9, 10, 11 years ago when Vidler was out to put videos on Vidler and YouTube, because Vidler was a channel that was pumping. The guy sold it, and I'm not sure what happened to it from then. George, great to see you. Chris, thank you so much. What apps, online tools have you seen as the most popular for fitness pros? It depends what you're doing. Some people are successful on Instagram, some on Facebook, some on YouTube. It depends how you're utilizing them. But what I found is most powerful, Carlos, is doing things in person. Ask Tony Robbins. The human connection is what raises, it's just what raises the energy level beyond what we could do just like through this. Vincent Tanner's been to Westside Barbell twice. Awesome. Have funny Louie stories. Do you have any funny or wild? Well, I used to speak with Louie on probably a weekly basis when I was a teacher. and I ordered my first sled from Louie. And the sled arrived on the front door of my parents' home, not in a box, but it was the sled with a book of stamps with clear tape taped onto it, like 30-something stamps. It didn't even go in a box. So when everybody hears that, they love that. Angel, thanks for stopping by. What's happening? Oh, Carlos, for appointments and payment, I use Wodify. I love Wodify. And I've also heard people using Front Desk HQ. Grant Craston in the house. Owen JJ Sohn, face to face is the best. Man, I was thinking about you, Owen. Hit me up with a message. I'd love to hear what you're up to, man. Daryl asked me, who coaches you? I know you're always evolving. Listen, I work with AJ Roberts. I invest in a lot of stuff with Strategic Coach. I do one-offs with certain coaches where I'll pay them for like a consulting fee. And I'll probably get back to Strategic Coach. I'm looking at probably not going on now, but I'm going to get this gym, the third gym location open. And I believe Strategic Coach opened up nearby. Before I was flying to Chicago, and I would fly there in the morning and fly home the same day. So that was just it was a little bit of a crusher. Grant Craston, I'm back, my man. But Daryl, I think that you should be investing in things like Strategic Coach. Listen to Dan Sullivan. There's just so many resources. If I'm looking at my book right here, of course, I've got, some of the greats like, Dale Carnegie's on the cover. On the book. It's always comes down to the greats. And I have a lot of the older stuff that I still go back to from Dan Kennedy. Because I think sometimes the newer stuff gets a little too complicated and they forget to just connect with people the real way. I'll take one or two more questions, guys. One or two more questions. Hope I didn't miss anybody. The process is going great, Ron, on the third location because I've partnered up with somebody who owns the building. And we will be inside of the building with a wrestling club. Is the process easier? I'll tell you why the process is easier, because having a team is great. Think about this, Ron. I don't remember what your rank was. I believe you were a first lieutenant, maybe more, in the Marines. But imagine you trying to achieve something, just you, just Ron, right? Just actually captain. I think you were a captain, just Captain Ron. I got you, bro. I got you, man. So Captain Ron just goes out on a mission alone. But what if you've got your team? What if you've got your unit? There's more power in a great team, not a good team or an average team. The power is in the numbers. So that's something I was not so good at before, but the team must complement each other. So if everybody on your team is like great at the same thing and mediocre at the same things, now we're just kind of exposing our weak areas. So Daryl Dansby says, thanks, we're on the right track. Keep up the great work. Thanks, Swamp Man. Stand by or send me a message if you want to be in that private coaching group, the Relentless Pursuit of Excellence. Correct, Ron. Synergy is the ticket. So this has been pretty easy. And also now there's a system in place with all three gyms. I'm using Wodify, I'm leveraging technology, and I am focusing on team. So technology and the right people and the right team makes you unstoppable. Yes, we will be in Scotch Plains, so you are always welcome, Ron. Of course, we've got your flag on the wall at the Underground Strength Gym of Edison. Representing proud. Carlos says, thanks for always being there for coaches who've worked with you and sharing and encouraging. Carlos, dude, it's my honor, man. It's like when I see you guys crushing it and being happy and impacting lives, it's like, dude, I get all teary-eyed. It's so pathetic. It's so stupid. But, man, that fires me up because I think, again, strength is in the numbers. If we're going to do great in this world, we've got to work on it together. And I don't like that scarcity mindset. I've been there before in my younger years. You're so worried about everything, but the power is in doing stuff together and building each other up. I've been in groups where there's always kind of like a head honcho, and God forbid you step out of his boundaries. It's like, oh, you get the lashings. Will I ever make the trip to the UK? I will probably make the trip to the UK. I just don't know when. I'll do it definitely as a family trip. And I don't know, man. Like, guys, like, I wonder if I would travel more if I didn't hate flying. And it's not like I'm pretty good at flying now, but every now and again I have a shitty flight. But it's like I'm due the gyms, and I'm this guy that wants this simple life. Like, I don't know, seeing the world. Other people love that stuff. Maybe because I'm like this homebody guy. Like, I don't operate well when I'm not with my family. So I like being with the family. Hey guys, Matty Maserati is in the house. One of our most explosive, badass athletes. He just went back to West Virginia for football camp. He's gonna crush it. He's one of our favorite guys. High energy and just a role model to the other kids about the work ethic and the tenacity in training. When that dude's in the gym, he destroys it. Maserati, I'm trying to think if you've ever had like a low energy down day and you've never brought that shit to the gym. You've always showed up just like fired up, ready to crush it. Because I just sent out a newsletter to the gym saying, if you're going to show up dragging ass, maybe you need the day off, or maybe you need to pull your head out of your ass and live the lifestyle and live the code and show up ready to crush it. And you represent what it's about. Grant, I'm not really the biggest fan of down this area. So I don't know where the next place I'll travel to. I'm usually go to Florida every couple months with the family for the tennis. Ron says, plug the other coaches for listening. USA Weightlifter offers a great course. Yep. Sports performance coach. Nice. Yes, I have heard it's very good. And they do travel around. You took it 2 weekends ago. Awesome. Also, Travis Mash. There's so many opportunities to learn. That's what the relentless pursuit of excellence is. You got to just keep learning. That's it, guys. You got to keep learning. You coaches out there, hit me up with a private message if you want to get the invite into the relentless pursuit of excellence Strength Coach Brotherhood. It's going to be 3 months. It's going to be legit. Vincent Tanner says, thanks. Do I ever allow visitors or drop-ins, driving distance? Great question, Vincent. I used to do that, and then I stopped because the coaches coming in turned it into a consultation for them, and then it pulled myself or the coaches away from coaching. And I remember kind of seeing the look on the kids' faces that they felt like they weren't being paid attention to. Somebody came in and pulled the coach or pulled myself away from working with them. So that's why I just focus on these kind of coaching groups. One thing I will be doing, it's up on my board. I have somebody flying in from one of the islands, I think Bermuda, and October 4th through 6th. He's going to do kind of like a mentorship. And so if anybody wants to do that as a certification, it's kind of the only way I'm running these certifications is through like a private style like that, at least right now. October 4th through 6th. If anybody wants to get in on that, let me know. Grant, I know I missed you in New York City. It's like my kids are at this age where, man, every day is just a lot of work with them. We do a lot of stuff with the kids. Right now they're at their tennis camp. Then we're at wrestling at night or back to tennis. And a lot of things going on, but they love it and I love them. And that's all the good stuff, man. Deep Burn Gym. All right, guys, this was great. If I missed your question, just stand by for the next time I do this. And coaches, make sure you guys hit me up with a message for the Relentless Pursuit of Excellence. That's our Strength Coach Brotherhood. And that's it, guys. I have a lot of fun doing this. Next one I do, I'm going to try to do it around 8 o'clock at night. Help you guys out. Peace out, guys. Thank you.